happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. It's another episode of Fight Talks with the BMAs, a basic MMA analyst coming fresh off UFC 307. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree for the light heavyweight championship, and Alex Pereira is still our champion. It was a great fight. That main fight was an amazing fight. Khalil Rountree just showed nothing but heart and toughness, man. That guy's tough. I mean, he's got an amazing style. His striking is so crisp. But it was the heart, man. I mean, Alex Pereira pieced him up throughout the fight. And he was able to keep Khalil Rountree just the end of his strikes. But I think in round two, Pereira became more he let his defense down. I think he was getting a bit too comfortable because he was keeping Rountree. Like in round one, like Rountree was explosive. He looked good. There was some strikes, of course, he connected with, but ultimately, what I saw was that Alex Pereira was able to keep Rountree just at the end of Rountree's strikes. He was able to kind of just keep at the end of Rountree's strikes. And then find his distance with the jab and the calf kicks and stuff like that. And I felt like in round two, that might have made Alex Pereira just kind of put his guards down a little bit, which resulted in a knockdown. And then also, it was a quick knockdown, but also a head kick that he took. So after that, I think he adjusted, he picked his guard back up, kept more aware of his distance, of his spacing and pace, and just put it on Khalil. That jab, like, end of the day, is the jab that just damaged Khalil and finished him. By round four, just a group, like when I say grueling fight, just the back and forth, like the movements, the strikes that you're taking from Pereira, just caught out Rountree. And it was those body shots right at the end that finished. I mean, the headshots. I don't know if Khalil would have gone down to the headshot. Maybe if he got knocked out, obviously, but he wasn't getting knocked out. That's what's crazy. Everyone gets knocked out by Pereira, but not Rountree, man. He was trying. He was still swinging. I was wondering, is he going to play possum like Izzy did, and try and use that strategy if he was in that sort of situation? But he was trying a little bit, and I think Pereira was smart, because I was thinking that, because if you looked in round four, when Pereira was piecing him up, he kept distance still. He didn't go in like he did with Izzy and then get caught with a big left hook or whatnot. He was very patient, precise, took his time, and rather than unloading, he was just landing shots precisely and then making sure he stays in distance of Khalil's strikes. So I think Pereira's obviously, world class. I think he's learned a lot. I mean, Rountree hits like a freaking tree. And then, just ultimately he's, messed up Rountree's face with the jab, those strikes, and then finished him with the body shots. But Rountree just showed great. He's super explosive, and Rountree when he would throw combinations, like maybe the last one would hit, but Pereira was good at moving back and just keeping his head back and just staying at the end of Rountree's strikes. There wasn't much kicks from Rountree in the beginning. Later on, there was kicks. I believe the first kick he threw, if I remember, was the head kick that landed at the end of round two. But yeah, he didn't kick much. It was way more boxing focused or hands focused. Obviously, there was going to be no grappling in this fight. Well, when I say obviously, I mean they're both strikers. No one was going to go for it. But it was, people counted Khalil out. He was ranked 8, I think he was. They counted him out. They're like, he didn't deserve a title shot right now. There's other people above him and whatnot. It was going to be a fun fight. I mean, there was a fun fight. Even I didn't count him out. I just thought Pereira would have. I thought Pereira would have finished him a bit earlier. But I think he's super explosive. His striking's amazing, and this is MMA end of the day. And I think he's just that MMA perspective, that MMA adjustment, slight MMA striking adjustment is always going to be there. So it's going to change a little bit from just a direct kickboxing fight. But Rountree is super explosive. I mean, he hits so freaking hard, super loved, man. People do love him. His just attitude's so great. People just cheering for him. And in the beginning, I mean, Pereira's just such a superstar, but everyone's screaming Chama. But by the end of the fight, everyone's waiting for Khalil Rountree to do his speech. They're cheering for him. He's seems like such a lovely guy. Come so far in life. hard not to like that guy. He's so awesome. Um, but Pereira, man, he's just what he's done in such a short period of time is crazy, crazy. Two division champion, and he's contemplating going down, going up. I mean, this guy feels like it looks like this guy's got options, but I think there's work to be done in light heavyweight before he does that. Um, he said that he doesn't want to go down to middleweight because Sean Strickland, one of his training partner, who he said he's got the fight, who has got the fight with DDP. If that's the case, I didn't know that, but um, he does want to block that, and he feels like he's got work to do in light heavyweight division, and I think he does. Just looking at the rankings, I mean, Magomed Ankalaev is the one that I think most people are thinking that that's the guy. The wrestling, the Dagestani wrestling and whatnot. He's fighting Rakic in Abu Dhabi at the end of the month. So maybe the winner of that makes sense. I mean, obviously people are assuming Magomed is going to win that one. But Magomed's been saying that he can knock out Pereira. If he goes in with that strategy, then he's getting knocked out. If he goes in to wrestle and use his strengths of, that Dagestani wrestling, okay, then I think that's going to be interesting. And then we're going to see, with Pereira, it's amazing. He's been fighting great strikers, and there's been some wrestling exchanges with certain fighters like Heavy Holfage and whatnot. But end of the day, like they have been strikers. So to have him go against Ankalaev, who's a great striker but also a great wrestler, that will be fantastic. That would be amazing. So that's the one to see. So hoping that happens, but we have to wait and see end of October, see if Ankalaev can pull off the win, which I guess a lot of people are expecting him to. We can't count Raquel out. So we'll see what happens with that. And if Alex Pereira goes up and tries to fight a super fight with like Tom Aspinall, and I think Aspinall, I mean, one, the size difference and whatnot, but I think Aspinall, and he said it himself, I'm shooting straight away. So unless, in some crazy world that happens and Pereira pulls off like a George Masvidal flying knee immediately type thing, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, let him fight Magomed, and we'll see where his wrestling and wrestling takedown defenses and all that sort of stuff. Once he fights an elite wrestler, a great wrestler, then we'll see. People are like, oh man, if John Jones was still in the division, I'd be excited. It will be. But I think John Jones is a very egotistical dude, right? He'll probably strike with him. But I reckon the wrestling of John Jones is just too elite if you just put it from that perspective. So I don't know. But right now, Pereira is just the man. Like Chalmers is just the man. He's smashing it, super exciting. He don't talk shit, he don't really talk much at all, but he's got a lot of his social media is quite funny. He's got a lot of characteristics, man. There's a charm, there's a lot of character behind him that you just don't see. I mean, I see his social media and he's hilarious, man. The jokes he plays on Pereira, the little comedy skits that I've seen he's been doing. There's so much character behind this guy, but he just seems like such a scary dude with that stern face that he's got, and obviously the beast, the striking master that he is. But love it. Great event, great fight, great, amazing fight, amazing fight. Shout outs to Khalil, man. That guy's such a warrior, such a warrior. All right, looking forward to see what they do with that light heavyweight division, man. I think that's a great story. If Ankalaev wins at the end of the month, you do that fight next, and that will be fun. Maybe before Ramadan, which gives November, December, say January, or even Ramadan will be in March. So yeah, January, February, that'll be awesome. Pereira likes to stay active. He's older, so I feel like that's why he's just trying to get it all in. But man, what he's accomplished, been amazing. Cool. Let's move on to the co-main event, women's bantamweight title by Raquel Pennington versus Julianna Pena. Julianna Pena was able to pull off the win. I believe it was the first 3 rounds that got her the win, where she was able to dominate with the grappling. When I say dominate, have more control with the grappling. Once she took her down in round 1, 2, and 3, I think she was able to kind of keep control, get her back. I think round 2 she's done a bit more damage on the ground and everything. So, but I think ultimately that's what won her the fight because of those 3. Pennington did win round 5 and 4 and 5, especially with the round 4 and the knockdown. I saw some people calling 10-8 and whatnot. If that was the case, it could have drawn. But I don't think it was a 10-8 just because of knockdown. But I don't know. In boxing, I guess you would call that automatically a 10-8. But ultimately, I mean, she won with the grappling. Um, Pennington is a beast. Her striking. Think about it, round 4 and 5, she was able to be more precise. But that's when she went in. When she went, I think her coaches were saying like, let's make this a fight. And then when she did that, she was able to connect with that right hand, and kind of take um uh Julianna Pena, like knock her down or whatnot. But ultimately, I think Julianna Pena pushed the pace in round two, 1, 2, and 3, and got that decision. So we'll see what happens with that division. What's her name? Kayla Harrison is obviously massive hype. Pena called out Amanda Nunes interested. She wants to do, another fight, a third fight with that. I don't, unless the Nunes comes back, I feel like Nunes would be more interesting Kyla Harrison, which we'll get to her fight in a bit. If she was to become champion, that would be kind of exciting. So I don't know. I don't know. She didn't acknowledge Kyla Harrison. So I don't know what that means. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. The next fight was Jose Aldo, the legend, is back, man. Bantamweight bout with Mario Bautista. Man, it was good to see Aldo back. I mean, he still looked good. I mean, like, he threw a couple leg kicks, which are like, oh shit, is Aldo coming back? But then he stopped again. He abandoned them immediately. His takedown defense is impeccable. The bloody the what you call it? Commentator guys were just talking about how great his takedown. His takedown defense is just fantastic. It's always been one of the best things about Jose Aldo. Just the best, one of the best takedown. I would love to see the percentage of his takedown defense. It's got to be up there with the best. I think there's a lot of controversy about him getting robbed. In my opinion, I think he did win that fight. I think he did land a lot more strikes. He was pushing forward. Batista definitely had pace and everything, but I think a lot of the fight was he won based on control against the cage, but not really damage. And how do you I don't know. How do you manage that? How do you, I saw Dana White talking about, there should be like rules against it, the ref should be stepping in. But I don't know. Like if it's, for an entertainment perspective and all that sort of stuff, then yes, I guess so. But if it's fighting and someone's got you against the fence and cage, if someone had you down and you can't get up, it's tough, right? That's just the reality of it. But this is there's rounds, there's time limits, so you got to get things moving, I guess. So this is different and it's entertainment. Jordan looked good. I know there was all these talks that he was saying that he feels good to be back. Want to make a title one. Guys, such a legend. I don't want to see that. Excuse me. I don't want to see that, man. He's such a like. I don't want to see him get hurt and lose. Like he lost this fight. Thank God he didn't get hurt, knocked out devastatedly or whatnot. But I don't like it. Like he went out. It's good to see him out, finish, for Hall of Fame and whatnot. Came back, looked fantastic, looked freaking awesome. But he lost the fight at the end of the day. So what happens next? Does he take another fight? Does he lose that by decision or whatever? I just don't want to see him keep losing like we see with Tony Ferguson, BJ Penn. I don't want to see that. Don't want to see that, man, because Aldo's another legend. So we'll see what happens with Aldo, man. I'm just such a huge fan. I just feel like I wish he just kind of stayed retired. All right, and moving on to the welterweight bout, Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. Another fun, exciting fight that we were looking forward to. And then unfortunately, Kevin Holland got injured at the end of the round, right? Roman took him down. Kevin Holland tried to turn. They scrambled and just popped his rib or something. I feel it was a good decision. It's great to see. It's great to see fighters. And I mean, look, there was a lot of controversy of the coach asking Kevin Holland, "Do you want to carry on?" And everyone's like, the coach should really make that decision, rather than let the fighter fight, because the fighter's just going to be like, "Fuck it, I'm good." And Holland was like, "Yeah, I think he was in pain, but he's like, yeah, I think so, I think so." But immediately when you say that, it's like, nah, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. You know what I mean? So they made a good decision. Kevin Holland's fun to watch. He's always fun to watch. It's a shame. It's a shame that that happened. But it would have been good to see more. It would have been good to see more. I mean, Roman came down from light heavyweight, right? So he was a big dude. You could see how thick he was in this division compared to Kevin Holland. He mentioned he's a wrestler and he did wrestle. It ended up taking him down. Um, But yeah, I mean I guess that's that. We'll see what happens with Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's fun. I mean, the guy loves do last minute fights, jump in here and there. So I won't be surprised if his ribs ain't too bad. He'll just show up again, probably show up again before the end of the year, no doubt. So we'll see what happens with that. To kick off the main event, it was Ketlen Vieira versus Kayla Harrison. A lot of hype around Kayla Harrison because of her background. You know, judo Olympic gold medalist. You know, smash people in PFL. A lot of hype, a lot of hype. She beat Holly Holmes, right, in her first fight. But this was a bit of a slow pace one. It was a bit of a slow pace. I mean, end of the day, she fought the number two in the division and she won unanimous decision, but she took it down in the first round. But after that, it wasn't as easy to get her down. I can't remember now. She got her down in round two and three. But Ketlen did fight very, very defensively, like, you know, thinking about those takedowns. So when Kayla did push her up against the cage, it was a very defense from Ketlen, which makes sense. I mean, you don't want to get taken down by Kayla, who could do it so easily because she's such an expert in judo. But it was slow. It was slow, and obviously, but as Kayla gets better, she's getting better at her striking, which would be devastating. But I think what I like about her, she is trying to go for what she's known for, which is her jiu-jitsu, which is her base. Not jiu-jitsu, so her judo, which is her base, get people down and then smash them there. We'll see what happens with her. There's a lot of hype around her. She's number three. She just beat the number two, so it makes sense for her to get the title shot next. And just push her up there, I guess. I think Julianna Pena didn't call her out, but they might, you know, and that's going to be a part of the story. You try to avoid me, you know, all that sort of stuff. The storyline in that division, I mean, what looks like, and obviously, I think that, you know, there was probably a lot of pressure around Kayla Harrison. You know, they were probably hoping that she would have just smashed Ketlen and then that would be a no-brainer for her to get a title shot. Then she wins a title, and then Amanda Nunes comes back, and that's a big storyline. That's fun. That's exciting. Big women's fight. That would have been a great storyline. She didn't smash Ketlen, but she won. She most probably will get the title shot next, and then if she does win, it's still a fun title story. I mean, depends on how she wins the title or whatnot. If she wins the title, does she smash Julian Pena? Does she not? Whatever. All of that adds up to the story. But if she does win and becomes champion, it's still a great story for Amanda to come back and tackle this obstacle. So we'll see. And she's huge and she's funny. She's got a good personality and whatnot. She's actually quite funny. Um, so we'll see what happens with that. And then I only just watched the last fight, the prelims. It was early morning for me. The fight main card started at 6 a.m. So I didn't want to stay up all night for all the prelims. I'll watch them later. But I did make sure I watched Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. A huge fan. I mean, big hype fan. It's a great fight. This fight could have easily been like a main event fight card fight. But anyway, super amazing fight. Stephen one of the boys is like the nicest guy in the world. And I love his karate style. I love his karate style, the point striking, but just so effective, just crisp striking, the in and out movement, the counter striking, amazing. But Joaquin Buckley, man, he put on that pressure. I did think Wonderboy was winning the fight actually, and I thought he would have won if it was went to decision. But Buckley put on that pressure, that flying hook. He threw that a few times, but he would just barrage in and then jump with a flying hook. And you know, in round three, he caught Stephen Wonderboy and just knocked him out. I mean, a few times he missed that. You know, Wonderboy's just great at freaking out, like just turning the corner and just getting it back off the fence and whatnot. He's amazing at that, amazing footwork. But that one caught him. It was flying hook, man. It was crazy. It was amazing. But Buckley's just got that exploit. He's got the hype behind him. He's now in the top 10 in that welterweight division. A lot of hype behind him. He's explosive. It's fun to watch. So and you know what? I would have to say one of the boys takedown defense, like, you know, or immediately when he got took down. I mean, he's been in there with the best. Tyron Woodley, Bilal Muhammad, freaking I've gone blank on everyone else, but so many wrestlers, he knew exactly what to do. As soon as he got taken down, scooted towards the fence, get back up. So he's actually really amazing at that. But he's Wonder Boy, man. He's just fun. He's just fun. He's like nice guy. I just don't know. And I mean, I just don't think he'll get up to the title. So I think maybe now it's just like, you know, just doing a couple fights. And he's getting older and whatnot. But he still looks great though. His kicks look amazing. He still looks amazing. So yeah, if he won, it just would have put hype around him a bit more. Old guy, still kind of old guy. Sorry, like he's like 38. So well, he's younger than me by a year. So yeah, but Joaquin Buckley hits that top 10 of the welterweight division, and he's a fun dude, man. He's a fun dude. He called out Kamaru Usman immediately going for number two guy, man. He's trying to get up there straight away. I think he respects the fact that Shavkat Rakhmonov might be fighting Belarus, who called out Kamaru Usman. But you got Covington, who we haven't seen in ages. Sean Brady and Joaquin Buckley might be fun. Ian Machado, Ian Gary, Gilbert, but this division's stacked. Jeff Neal, this division is too stacked. Oh my God, that top 10 is ridiculous. That top 10 in that division is ridiculous. Um, oh my God, yeah. If you go through that top 10, Leon Edwards, like going from one down, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, Shafmat Rakhmonov, of course, Bilal is the champion, so by the way. Jack Della Madela, Kobe Covington, Sean Brady, Ian Gary, Gilbert Burns, Stephen Thompson, Jeff Neal, and now Joaquin Buckley is going to be it. That's a killer division, man. Oh my God. That's going to be fun for Joaquin Buckley. It's just fun in general for that division. But yeah, looking forward to more fights coming up. I mean, look, I will watch the prelims later on during the day. I'll take my time and watch those. But I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on the main event and the main card, which was awesome. What other stuff is going on, man? We got next week. Is it next week? What do we got? Next week is the 13th of October. Yeah, we got Royval versus what's his name, man? Royval versus Taira, the Japanese dude. Tatsuro Taira. Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira. That's next week. Who else is on this card? Yeah, should be a fun filler sort of card with all respects. Oh, he's on it. Chris Barnett is fun, that heavyweight. Why does it say Spain under him? That's jokes. Why is it saying Spain? Is he Spanish? I thought it was American. Heavyweight dude. I don't know. Anyway, you got that, and then you got the week after that, you got Anthony Hernandez versus Michael Pereira. Pereira is always fun and acrobatic and electrifying with his striking style. Rob Font's fighting on this card. Charles Johnson. Yeah, cool. And then the main one this heavyweight. What's his name? Robeles this sponge. My bad, man. Yeah, I've fucked up his name, but that heavyweight Cuban dude, man. I believe though, did he lose that last one against that Almeida? I believe so. With the grappling, but it's still fun to watch. But one we're all looking forward to the most is UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. This one, Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. I can't wait. That's freaking one of the best heavy, what do you call it, main events. Can't wait for that one. Co-main event, hopefully this one happens. Robert Whittaker versus Hamzat Chimaev. That's going to be freaking amazing. You got Leroy Murphy's Dan Ige, Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexandra Rakic, which is going to be good. Shara Magomed, the Bullet, the Pirate. I love watching this guy fight. I got opportunity to train. When I say train, opposite him, but we're just hitting the bags in the gym where I train, and I was watching. This was before his last fight in Abu Dhabi. He was kicking the bags, and I was like, "Oh, those kicks were just amazing." But yeah, that he's fighting Armen Petrosyan. Jeff Neal is on this card versus Rafael dos Santos. Yeah, man. Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Daniel Santos. I feel like Daniel Santos, that's just Khabib's crew versus what's his name? Charles Oliveira's crew. I believe it's from his that crew. Yeah, it's gonna be a good card. I can't wait for this, man. Nasrullah Robov is back. Um, yeah, that's gonna be a good card. That's gonna be a good card. I'm gonna watch it from home. I know Abu Dhabi is just like an hour away, but actually like the experience just watching them from home. I hope they show it at a decent time, which I believe they will. It says Sunday. Um, so it might be Sunday morning. Anyway, because this is a big fight, they might just kind of accommodate the US audience. All right. Well, looking forward to the fights to come. I'm gonna do my best to give you my thoughts on at least the main events. It's just been a bit busy at the moment. K West just taking a break at the moment as well, just sorting out some stuff. So we'll be looking forward to get back onto it when both of us are back. But for now, at least I'll give you my thoughts on at least the main events. All right. Anyway, on that note, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. Great night of fight, super exciting and fun, and I'm out. Peace.